Now, the next thing that we need to do is we need to build our component here, which is going to show when we click on the button. So right away, let's go ahead and create a new component. So inside the source folder, we're going to create a new file, and we're going to say board.js for the name of the file. And then I'm going to say export default function board. And then for now, let's just go ahead and return an h2 that says I'm bored. And then save it. And then back inside our app.js, I'm going to render it below the div, and I'm going to render the board component, so that now we should be able to see our component right around here. Obviously, the color isn't the best one, but we can see that the component is working. And just so that we can see this, then let me style it out to be white in color. So inside here, I'm going to say that for the h2, I'm going to change the color to white, and we should be able to see it right there. Now, what we need to do is we want that when you click on this button disappears, and then this one shows up. So let's go inside our app.js, and then on top right here, we are going to import a hook from React that is called useState, which allows us to manage state in our application. And so we're going to create our state value here, and we're going to call it show board, and set show board is going to be the function that controls our state value. By default, we want it to be false because we don't want to be able to see this component when the application loads in. And then we are going to use what is called short circuit rendering, meaning we're going to grab this component and cut it out, and then we're going to place a condition using curly brackets, and we're going to say that only when show board is true with a double ampersand, that's when we want the board component to show up. So I'm going to save this, and it's going to disappear, right? Because by default, show board is false. But if I change this to true, then our component is going to show up here. So that is technically working, but not quite yet. We want that when this is true, then this should disappear. And the way we do that is, once again, we just grab this entire thing, cut it out, and then we're going to say that when show board is false, and notice the negation here, the exclamation, when show board is false, that's when we want this to show up. So when I save this, we're going to see this component. I'm going to see our component, and then when this changes to false, we are going to see our button. So that is working correctly. Now we just need to attach the on-click event on the button, so that when we click this, then it's going to change this state value. So the way we do that is just by going inside the button here and saying on click, and then we're going to pass in our inline function and say set show board to true, meaning change this state value from false to true. So I'm going to save this, and then notice that when I click on this, now our component shows up and our application is working correctly.